Tanse, Tatawao. Hello, welcome. I'm Sipaku Waskatawi Win, Blue Lightning, and I'm here today with another part 5 of my series of Cree heritage and cosmic view, spiritual beliefs, and some of the legends and ways of life of my people. I'm here to share today some of that point of view of the Neo-Win Neo-Wak, and today I wanted to speak on the subject matter of as we would refer to them as the gifted ones. Most modern day people like to call them the shapeshifters, or the, as you would like to say, skinwalkers sometimes. There's a bunch of different kind of names out there, but so where do I begin with this? In the ancient world, ancient times, uh, it was like our human existence was one and the same with nature, and we were very very much connected to that world. There was no nature and then our humans. It was just nature in itself, and universe. And so a lot of these people in the ancient world were very much connected to the animal beings, and all the animal guardians, and like I should say all the plant beings and elements and all the different I should say energies of this existence. When they were, I should say, when they would do their ceremonies, and like when we do our ceremonies today in this time, we always refer to these connections and refer to this ancient relationship, and a lot of, like I said, all of our ceremonies, and it all comes from the stars. It comes from the universe, so it's very much tied to all the elements and all the aspects of this reality in that grand picture. So sometimes when we're in our ceremonies and we're connecting and we're praying, and sometimes people will find their connections in the universe. It's very unique, like unique ways, and develop unique connections and relationships to this universe. So there will be some people who will find they have a lot of connection to healing energies and healing spirits. So they often become a healer, and depending on what type of spirit or healing energies connected with them, they'll be if they work and tune into that, they can actually bring forward that healing energy into this existence, let's just say. So like there's here's a real interesting story, my own experience. I was a little kid, and I used to catch frogs and all these toads all the time, and I got all these warts all over my hands, like real lots, like tons. Like my hands were like warded out. And there's this a man in our community. His name was Bull Rider, and because he did win a lot of competitions riding bulls and stuff, and but he was a very interesting man. Like he always kept to himself, and he ended up he had a very interesting healing gift that was passed on to him through like ceremonies and heritage, and inherited heritage, I should say. And he had gotten a gift, he told me, from the grass spirits. So the grass spirit ended up bestowing upon him the healing capacity to heal people with warts. And but one of the ways you had to pay him was like, well, there was tobacco there obviously, but you'd have to also hand him some grass too. You have to bring him blades of grass, and then he'd heal your hands with those blades of grass and stuff. And my warts and everything went away within like a week or two after that. And that's just an example, a small example of the capabilities people gathered from out there. Like my uncle was very very gifted from the spirit world and healing a lot of people with very different methods and medicines, and I should say the connections were very very different. He had a lot of connections to like the thunder gods and different I should say like I should say the tree beings and stuff like that, eh? So where I'm getting at is sometimes people will undergo these ceremonies, and they'll find connections to spirit beings, or spirit animals will come to visit them because they had this connection all along from when they entered this world. So a lot of times when people find that connection to another, like I should say, a spirit being or guardian, sometimes they will be gifted with that ability to transform into them, or to have the same similar like healing traits as them. You get what I'm saying? So there'll be sometimes like my uncle would tell me about some medicine men, like that they were connected to the eagle, the Kiowan, and there was a mountain in BC where an elder would go, and he would have his fast on this mountain, and then the eagle would fly by, and then as the eagle flew by, the elder would turn into one and go with the eagles like that, and so like there's like a few of these like tales of like not only is it like a gift, but sometimes it's a rite of passage. Like some of these people, they'll end up just choosing that way and just becoming an animal for the rest of their existence, and living that life of connection with the spirit and universe like that, the natural world. So we would say those are gifts, or gifted ones, or gifted people, and that have acquired that ability through connection to the spirit world and universe, and that like I should say, that deeper side of spirituality where it comes through, and they can manifest it into this world, right? There are those beings out there though that come to us in this existence, and they do have messages, or they come with or they're there as like I should say, like their connections with us, or you might come across them. You know, sometimes it's random, like my father. So he told me this story after I had a encounter with a similar type of animal spirit. So I was out hunting in the woods, and well, actually my father was out there too, right? And we came across these two bull moose that were fighting in this cut line in the woods, and I was like, oh, let's get a little closer, right? And so we got a little closer, but by the time we were getting closer, the moose stopped fighting. One took off, veered off in the woods, and then the other one went into the middle. Like perfect, you know. I was like, okay, couldn't ask for a perfect, like, this is, I'm gonna take this moose home. Like, this is gonna be a good harvest. And so I was doing my prayers and connecting, and then all of a sudden I fired like the first round, and the moose just stood there, and it was like, I was like, what? That should have, like, that's not the reaction I was looking for. Like that was a direct hit, center, heart shot kind of deal. Like no playing around, not trying to miss or anything, right? And there was no kick up from the ground or anything, like there's nothing in the trees, and I'm like, okay. So I let off another 2 rounds, still nothing, and it just stood there. It didn't do nothing. So I was like, okay, this is something else here, right? And then so I let off another 2, and it was gone. Like after that, it was just standing there. My magazine was empty, and it just started walking away. It just turned around and just walked into the woods. So I was like, what the? So I reloaded, and I walked up there to go check it out, and there was nothing on the ground. There's no blood. There's no trail or anything. So I'm like, okay, this is odd. And I followed it into the woods, and I can hear it in there just breaking trees and stuff, just like just trailing, making a trail or running fast. So I was like, I chased it till it got dark into the woods, Still finding no blood, but I could still hear it in the distance, right? And then I finally faintly heard my dad like call back to me, like he's like, "Come back, like don't go, like come back." So I was like, so I turned around, I came back, and we got back on the trail and got in the vehicle, and we're driving away, and I was like, yeah, I couldn't find it. Like I looked all over, and I swear I must have hit it like that. There's no way I could have missed all those shots. Like, and then my dad's like, he's like, that that's usually that's like a bad sign. Like that's a sign that someone like a hunter in our family, like a really well known hunter in our family is gonna die. And I was like, whoa. And he's like because usually that's a sign like in our culture, because we're hunters, right? So he's like, that's a message that somebody's gonna die. And then 2 weeks later, my uncle Ray passed away, and he was a really well known hunter as well. Like both my uncles were, and so that was a message from spirit animal that was telling me that. And then my dad told me years ago he had an encounter with a spirit moose too, and he said he was by himself though, and he said he was out in another area, but still like within Alberta, but out in a different area than we were in. And he said he seen this moose in the cut line, similar, like out in the woods. There's a bunch of cut lines out here because of all the development and over the years. And he ends up getting a good like spot on the moose, and he's like, okay, he aims his rifle, and he takes a nice power like it's a powerful shot, like and the moose ended up just like he said he saw it, like the moose itself, right? And he said he heard, but he didn't see it like saying anything, but he heard it saying this. He said it just like, it was like, ouch, 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 like. And that's how that moose just went running away, and he just got freaked out. Like he dropped his well, he didn't drop his rifle, but he almost dropped his rifle, he said. And then he was like, whoa, like he's like, he stopped aiming. He's like, whoa, hey, hello, and no answer back. And he went looking, and there was no blood or anything. Like that's what reminded him of that story, right? And he's like, whoa, like he got freaked out, right? And he's like, hello, hey, like he thought it was somebody trying to help him, right? After, and they didn't respond or nothing. There was no blood, there was no, and like he saw moose tracks and stuff, but there was no like, So he said he went home, and it bothered him all that night. He said it bothered him all that night to the point where he had to get up like the as soon as the light started to shine again in the morning, like that, like 4 a.m, he got up and he went driving back out there to go look for that guy, well, the moose again or whatever, right? The shapeshifter or spirit being, and it wasn't there. And so then he was like, okay, like he didn't know what it was, right? And until he was told that was a spirit being or a spirit moose or something like that. And then he gave up hunting for a long time after that. He said he quit hunting, but like, since then he's been out in the wilderness. Like he'll still be out in the wilderness and whatnot, but it's not like he said he quit going out in the woods or fearful of any of that or anything. Like he's still all right. He's just not he had that one story, right? Because he was with me when I was out hunting and whatever, right? So he told me that story. But with the shape, that's a spirit. Those are examples of spirit beings. But as for a shapeshifter example, a nice example of shapeshifting and shapeshifters, I will go into more detail of that in my next video. I'll do like a tale of that, and also some of the experiences I've had personally. So that's I'll be in the next one. So I hope you guys check that one out, and I'll see you guys there.